I'm Sean Sylver, and this is Cracked Rear View. Each week, we talk with an interesting guest about the music we love, through the lens of the 1990s CD Club deal. You remember opening your favorite magazine and seeing the words 10 CDs for a penny splashed across multiple pages? Yeah? And was there anything better than that? I would say no. That's why we're here. My guest this week is Naomi Carmack. Naomi hosts the Dope Nostalgia podcast, where over 6 years and more than 275 episodes, she's interviewed 90s hitmakers and talked with fellow music lovers about a decade we all know and love. Once a friend turned me on to Dope Nostalgia, I knew I had to make this happen. And the year is 1992. I'm joined by Naomi from the Dope Nostalgia podcast. I recently had a friend tell me about Dope Nostalgia, and I'm hooked. There's some great episodes on there. If listeners to this podcast haven't been over there, I'd recommend it. And Naomi, I really appreciate you hanging out with me today.
Thank you, Sean. I'm so excited. I heard about your podcast format and I thought this is right up my alley.
I discovered actually as I was digging into the archives that you actually did a Columbia House episode with a friend of yours. Was it Nicole? Nicole was
Yeah.
baking something and you were talking about
Yeah.
your Columbia House subscriptions.
Oh, yeah, we were in depth on that one.
It was revealed that you ran this scam multiple times. And
I don't remember how many, but I think at least 2 or 3 times we did this. Yes.
part of the, I guess, my motivation for doing this, it was just something that connected with a lot of people. We're all younger and trying to get into music, trying to get music. We don't have streaming yet. We don't have Napster. And
Mhm.
we're all reading magazines, right? All of this, you set a 10-year-old or a 15-year-old down in front of this and they're just like, what?
And that was the age I was. I was about 11, 12 when this kind of thing started happening. I was obsessed with magazines in the first place,
Yeah.
right? Because, like, I'd be the kid who's at the grocery store or at the convenience store, like, just hanging out like it's a library.
Oh,
And,
totally.
have employees telling you had to, like, stop doing that. But I ended up buying quite a few of them in the long run, and yeah, that's how I got involved in all of these, buy 12 CDs for the price of one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just sitting by the magazine rack, like I don't know how long my mom would just leave me there, but
Mhm.
it was all good. I was catching up on Lord knows in these magazines. But this is also our first international episode.
Nice.
You are based in Edmonton, so it's interesting that like this is something that there was a Columbia House Canada, there was a BMG Music Service Canada. I'm kind of curious, like how much of a role CanCon played with this. That's
Mhm.
something that was introduced to me because I actually had friends from Western Canada, from BC, who would visit my part of the world occasionally, and there were a couple times that I visited theirs, and they were always listening to stuff that I just had no idea about. But I'd become a huge fan, and there's several bands that like I kind of took with me from those mixtapes and
Yeah.
just sitting down and listening to music. So, was CanCon a part of? And for those who don't know, what is it? 20% of all music that's played on the radio has to be Canadian.
I think it's about that amount.
Okay.
I know it's at least, I think 1 or 2 songs per hour
Okay.
need to be Canadian, which would make sense to that percentage. Um, and that has not changed in years and years and years. I think what qualifies as Canadian has differed a little bit
Okay.
because back in the day, there was even a time where Bryan Adams' music was considered un-Canadian in the early '90s just because he worked with somebody from the UK.
Okay.
On his music, his writing and production was not completely Canadian, and that's silly, right? Like, the
Wow.
artist should be the heavy weighing, component of that equation, and I think that they did change that a bit.
Yeah, I didn't know it was so technical here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit technical. I mean, I understand that there has to be, like, some kind of way to measure it, but Yeah, that was ridiculous anyways. Some people hate CanCon because I think it breeds mediocrity, you know? It's like, "Oh, you can just easily get on the radio in Canada if you're Canadian." I wouldn't say that's exactly true, but it is a nice way to support our own.
Yeah, and I mean, I fell in love with various Canadian artists in the '90s and early 2000s. I also remember, like, some artists being hot out there that we never heard on the East Coast United States, like Mel C of the Spice Girls was,
Mhm.
like, big at one point. I remember hearing Craig David, out there before I'd ever heard him, in the US.
Yeah,
Even like a song like, "Kiss the Rain" by Billy Myers, which is like a random '90s song that I just really enjoy.
right.
Heard it in Canada first, didn't hear it in the US, and it wound up being a big, like, international hit.
Yep.
It's cool. I feel like I've been talking to a lot of Boston people and, like, remembering the
Love it.
radio stations that we grew up with, and that's fun and all, but it's also cool to get some, very different perspectives, so thank you for opening up the border here.
Oh, yeah, literally. I know you'd mentioned with Columbia House what the deal was in Canada. Now, a lot of my magazines that I did get were American, so
Oh, okay,
I'm
yeah.
I actually have you asked a great question because I'm not sure if there was a Canadian version of it. I'm checking. I'm checking what address it was.
Yeah, 'cause
Sorry,
here
I know you
no, it's cool. Because here it would have been, Indiana is the home base.
okay.
As you check, I will also confirm. You mentioned a
Mhm.
thing on your episode about Columbia House called CDHQ,
Yes.
and as the person who, like, needs to, follow the breadcrumbs and figure it out, I Googled this today, and I found on eBay a CDHQ printout up for sale. So that was the Canadian record club, apparently.
It was a Canadian and I believe it was, part of Columbia House,
Okay. So maybe
CDHQ.
that was, like, Columbia House
Yeah,
Maple Leaf Edition?
but we had Columbia House I in its natural form as long as I can remember being alive, like,
Yeah,
because it started in my era, it was really cassettes 12 for a penny, right? Like, the
right.
first time I ever ordered it, I remember getting, like, a box of 12 tapes. And it kinda progressed to CDs later, and I think at that time it was 8 CDs. They
Yeah.
were a little pricier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The 12 tapes, they'd be happy to give you those.
Yeah, so it might have been coming from the US, actually.
Yeah, why
That I
not?
don't know. But yes, we did. We also had the BMG Music Club here too.
Yeah, I was a BMG, Music Service member. I just thought the deal was better. Once you make the purchase and buy one, you're off the hook.
Mhm.
I might have hung with that for like 7 or 8 years or some ridiculous amount of time because, as you guys were kinda talking about, they'd come up with another deal. They'd be like, "Well, this week, or this month, if you buy 3, you could buy 1 and get 2 free," right? So it's 3 for the price of 1. It'd just be like, "Okay, yeah, I can
Continuous deals, not
do
just the
that."
original deal.
Yeah, yeah, and bilking the artists all the way.
And both all these clubs were actually put out by record labels. It was like a side hustle
Yeah,
because I don't think that the artists got the royalties that they would if you bought the CD from an actual record store.
and part of it too, I think, the BMG catalog, which eventually they got everybody under their umbrella, but you couldn't get the Columbia artists. So on this, ad we're gonna talk about today, there's no New Kids on the Block, which I know are big for you because 'cause they're
Right?
Columbia, right?
I noticed that. Yes.
No, no Mariah. I
Mhm.
don't believe Michael Jackson's on. He was Epic, which I think was Sony. I don't know. It's
Yeah, there
all
was no Michael Jackson on there. Janet Jackson's on there, but she was A&M Virgin
right,
Records.
right.
Those were her 2 record labels, so that worked out that way, but yeah, now that you mention it, no Sony, no Columbia Music on BMG.
Yeah, and, it's limiting, but there's still plenty of choices here.
Mhm.
On the subject of dope nostalgia, I notice too that it seems like this podcast started in 2020, which is something that a lot of podcasts started in 2020, and now 99% of those no longer exist. You've
Right.
been you've been going 6 years, like, What was
Yeah.
your initial motivation to get it going? And, how are you, 275 episodes in at this point? Like, what do you think the staying
Right.
power comes from?
Well, part of that was not because I didn't start a podcast because I was in, quarantine and bored, because
Mhm.
I had been building up to start the podcast throughout the end of 2019.
Okay.
It was already a vision that I'd had, and I set out to making it talking about 90s music, talking about one-hit wonders with friends and fans. That was the original idea,
Mhm.
and, so I bought all the things I needed, like the webcams and the microphones and all this stuff. And then boom, pandemic hits. I put out my first episode at the end of January of 2020, right before the shutdown by a couple months.
Yeah.
And it was like, if you listen to the very first episodes, they're kind of lame because I was really green, and the very first interview I recorded did not record. And I cried. I cried. I was so upset. But
Oh,
yeah.
god.
So I think the staying power is the fact that this is a passion for me.
Yeah.
I love doing this. It wasn't just a boredom thing. The reason why I ended up interviewing actual artists was the silver lining on the cloud of 2020 for me, because people were home.
Mhm.
Artists couldn't tour, they couldn't do anything but stay home, record, be creative in their own ways, right? So that's when I reached out and actually got people interested, and they came on the show. So the timing worked out that in that regard. There's nothing cool about COVID. There's nothing cool about that time,
Right.
but it helped me get through it.
Yeah, you were busy.
Gave me a positive outlet in a time where I was one of those people who was scared to go out. I was
Mhm.
scared of COVID.
Mhm.
So it really helped me also be social.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
The thought about, reaching out to artists. Did you
Mm.
have expectations when you made those initial contacts? Like, with me, my personality, and I've worked in media for a long time, but I still feel like a pang of, "Am I bothering this person?" When I reach out to them.
Yeah.
Or there's no way that they would come on my little show, right? How did that feel for you?
A little bit of imposter syndrome there where I'm like, I'm not they don't know who I am. They're not gonna wanna do this. Yeah, definitely. But I thought, you don't know till you try,
Mhm.
so just go for it anyway. I just reach out and say, "Hey, this is the show I'm doing. I'd love to talk about your music. I wanna dedicate an episode all about you. What what would you like to do? Are you interested?" And I'd say for everyone I reached out to, about 10% of the artists agreed.
Okay.
So that's not bad when you consider how many people had music out in a whole decade.
Yeah.
So,
That's a high percentage of rejections. But if
yes.
you look at it the other way and you can stomach those, right? Not take it
Mhm.
personally, you're fishing here, right? You're just looking for somebody to take a bite. And they have.
I wasn't trying to, like, reach out to, like, huge artists, like, I wasn't like, "Janet Jackson, Madonna, come on my show." Like, I had some realistic expectations
Mhm.
here. I still don't even think I'm near close to even approaching some stars of that caliber, but you never know. I don't
Well,
know.
you've got
The goal is to grow, so
yeah,
who knows, one day.
you've got the resume now, and you can keep going from there. Some of my favorite episodes are even the ones where you've just got friends on, like, I feel like a lot of that natural chemistry just comes out. I'm listening to a recent one right now where you're talking about 90s album covers, that just
Ah.
dropped. So was enjoying that as I was spraying pollen off of my patio furniture today. It's like
Oh,
podcasts. They
wow.
they just it's the keep you company sort of thing. A lot
Mhm.
like radio, really used to be for me when I was a kid. It's podcasts keep me company as I'm doing mundane household tasks. But out of the artists, were you, I don't know, surprised by a particular guest, like how nice they were, how accommodating they were?
Ooh, I think it is pretty cool. The majority of people I've talked to, vast majority of artists I've had on, are very friendly and lovely people. Um, First of all, they said yes to doing it, so you
Yeah.
assume right there that that's a good sign. But, there's only been a couple that I've interviewed where I was like, "Oh, I'd never talk to that person again." Yes, they're very accommodating for the most part, absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic. That's great.
Mhm.
Well, excuse me if I'm like fanboying a little bit over here, but
Oh, I'm so happy that like, how much you're enjoying the show and everything, so
yeah,
this is
yeah.
so cool.
Well, I think too, like I'm in my early stages, right? So, and I'm candid. I'm not one of those people who's always like, "Oh, I'm an open book," but I feel like I'm a pretty candid person, and this podcast is an opportunity for me to get candid about, I don't know, my childhood, just various things that are stuck in my head for whatever reason, just getting them out, talking about them. Usually they're
Right.
lighthearted.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm trying to keep reasonable expectations on, like, how many listens I'm getting and, how much feedback I'm gonna get. So I know, like, when a friend texts me and they're just like it's their time of the week when they're listening to the podcast and they've got feedback for me, like, I really enjoy just hearing from folks and knowing that, like, personally, they're taking the time to listen to something that I'm creating, and yeah, like,
Mhm.
I feel like that goes a long way.
I love what you're doing. I'm gonna be a regular listener of it because I think it's fantastic, and just when you approached me and I saw I was like, "Oh my goodness, he's doing the Columbia House thing. This is crazy. I love it."
Well, here we are. We talked about this via email, and you kind of settled on 1991, and I believe this was covered in your episode too, that Columbia House and BMG had an agreement with retailers that, hey, we're not going to get the new releases. You guys can sell those. We'll get them 3 to 6 months down the line. So we've picked out an ad here from early 1992. Let's get to know 1992, early 1992 Naomi a little bit.
Mhm.
You mentioned when you signed up for this thing for the first time, it was cassettes, so you didn't have a CD player yet?
Not yet. I don't think I got a CD player till '93.
Okay. I think it was like
Yeah.
94 maybe, something like that. I was definitely cassettes too for that first introductory
Mhm.
bundle and still have a bunch of those. They're sitting over there on that wall in a in one of those big racks of tapes.
Yes, I'm glad you have that. It is pretty impressive. How many tapes do you think there are there?
Well, it's an 100 rack, and most of the slots are filled.
Mhm. Don't they just kinda crumble into dust after, like, 30 years? I don't know. I still have a few of those tapes too, and I have a lot of tapes that I recorded stuff off the radio
There we go. That's where the magic is.
because I thought, "Oh, well, I'm gonna go through them one day and digitalize certain things that were important." And, I've done a little bit of that, but
Okay.
I better finish them before they totally fall apart,
I've
right?
found that the ones that are from the '80s, there's degrees of struggle that are going on with the '80s tapes. The '90s tapes, for the most part, are pretty okay, except ones that, like, I played the hell out of or
Mhm,
I might not have taken really good care of. But
mhm.
if you've kept them in, like, a cool, dry place, which may or may not be possible, like, they're probably pretty good.
Yeah. Luckily, it's only 1 box, and it's not a huge box, so every time I've ever moved anywhere in life, it's been pretty easy to take it with me.
Yeah.
It's not like collecting vinyl in that regard, so
Oh god, yeah. No, the most portable of the formats, I guess, before we got into iPods, right?
Mhm.
I've talked to a lot of Boston folks that have come on about the various music stores that are around here. I assume in the early '90s, you're going to music stores, you're checking things out. Do you
Yes.
do you remember having, like, a music store or stores of choice? And, what was that like when you go in and browse around?
Yes, well, there was a few different ones that we had. We had a Sam the Record Man, we had A&B Sound, um, trying to remember the names of the different stores, but
Sam
the
the
big
Record
one
Man sounds so friendly.
that was a huge store in Toronto. Toronto is very far from Edmonton,
Yeah,
but the flagship location of Sam the Record Man on Yonge Street in Toronto was a big deal, and it stayed open for many years. Um, so that's another Canadian-based place, but the big one here was HMV, which is an import from the UK.
oh, that's right, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and HMV was my second home. It was if I'm in the mall, first place I'd go every time.
for sure.
I remember at Boxing Day. Do you have Boxing Day in the US now?
No, but my Canadian friends have taught me about Boxing Day. So no, it's not here.
Mhm.
I have a Canadian coworker who was kind of like, "Yeah, I'm doing this for Boxing Day," and we're like, "Well, we don't get that off."
You're like, "What are you talking about?" Well, we definitely it's not a holiday.
Yeah.
Like, we don't it's not a statutory holiday,
Okay.
but Boxing Day is like you get up early, early, early in the morning. You got your deals figured out, where you're gonna go shopping. So I would get up early in the morning and hit the mall. Now, I live in a city with one of the biggest malls on the planet called West Edmonton Mall.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've heard of that,
No, I
but
haven't. It's one of the
you go to,
biggest
like,
ones on the planet?
yes. So you have the Mall of America in Minneapolis,
Yeah.
right? And then you have West Edmonton Mall in Edmonton, and these are the 2 definitely the 2 biggest malls in North America. At the time in the '90s, West Edmonton Mall was the biggest mall in the world.
Wow.
Now, I'm sure in Asia and other places overseas, you have bigger malls now, but yeah, we would go to West Edmonton Mall and get our shopping on. Now, HMV would always have buy 3 CDs, get 1 free.
Mhm.
And I always wondered, did the price of all the CDs go up that day? I didn't care. I was just so excited to be there. I had it planned out. I had my Christmas money. I was gonna get 4 CDs that day, no matter what,
That is
and I did.
awesome.
So, Boxing Day was a big deal.
So a couple things on that. One, can we do a mall health check here? How's the West Edmonton Mall doing? Like, because a lot of malls not so good these days.
I took a friend from Toronto who's also a content creator,
Mhm.
John G, on TikTok. He was in Edmonton this week, and I took him to West Edmonton Mall. If someone's from somewhere else and they're here and visiting, I take them to the mall, and the mall's thriving. It's the
Nice.
only mall I know of where it's still packed. Like, we were there on a Sunday afternoon, and it was just busy with tourists and just shoppers. If you live in Edmonton, it's usually one of the last places you wanna go because of how busy it is and how huge it is.
Mhm.
You know, there's so many different entrances around the mall that you park exactly where you need to go to get there, if there's something you need in West Ed, and then you just get in and get out. Like,
I mean, that's me at
it's
like a medium
crazy.
sized to small mall. I just, efficiency, very important.
It has, indoor amusement park, sponsored by
Okay.
Hasbro.
Yeah.
It has an indoor, water park. It has a life-size, Santa Maria replica boat in a big lagoon in the middle of the mall and a huge ice rink. Like,
Of
this mall is
course. Yes.
crazy.
Wow.
I'm
That's
sorry if we went off topic a bit, but that was just me trying to explain
no,
where
this
I
is this is a
HMV.
this is a space to talk about malls. And I also like I'm curious too. So Boxing Day, that sets up so nicely because you've probably got some gift cards, you've gotten some
Yeah.
cash for Christmas, right? And then you're going out and
Oh, yeah.
using it. Here we have so I know Canadian Thanksgiving is the equivalent of American Columbus Day, right? So it's October.
Yep.
But here, American Thanksgiving is what, 6 weeks before Christmas, and we do
Yeah.
Black Friday. So is there a Black
Mhm.
Friday equivalent in Canada? Because Black Friday being the day after
There is
Thanksgiving,
now.
that would be like October.
With the advent of online shopping, there is now.
Okay,
There
okay.
was no Black Friday in the '90s in Canada.
Got it.
But now it's like, "Oh, well, Amazon's gonna have a Black Friday sale, and Best Buy is gonna have a" do you have Best Buy?
Yeah.
Okay, they're gonna have a Black Friday sale. It's just, like, mostly online. I I wouldn't be surprised if the malls have some Black Friday stuff too, considering they're desperate to get people into the malls.
This is maybe stupid, I can't remember. Are some websites up there .ca?
Yes.
So is it Amazon.ca that you go to?
Yes.
And they offer American Black Friday deals?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Absolutely. What are they called? Fulfillment centers?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have our own, like, we have one right in every major city has a fulfillment center, so you still get your stuff, like, the day of
Right.
or next day in a lot of cases.
Of course. I mean, I figured Amazon, the proximity is just it's for everybody, at least maybe in North America. I don't know what Amazon in Europe is
Mhm.
like or anything like that, but just the fact that you would be going on a Canadian website when it's not official, well, it's not an official American holiday either, but like Black Friday isn't really a thing. It's an American creation, but even on the .ca website, they're supporting it because the almighty buck rules.
That's right.
Always does. Always
That's what's
does.
going on.
So when you look at 91, 92, just kind of want to get a little bit of a flavor for, well, maybe I will when you make your picks,
Mhm.
what you're into at the time, like genre wise. And
Mhm.
also just kind of the broader question of, when you're picking CDs today, are you doing this as 1992 Naomi, or is this a selection process that's been informed by the 30 some years of life that have followed?
I looked at that list and I looked at it as 1992 Naomi, but at the same time, I realized that Naomi is still the same Naomi and would still make the same picks.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so nothing's changed. And then now being able to tell you about those picks now, I can tell you how those albums related to my life at the time, right? So,
Yeah.
there you go.
Let's get into it.
Cool.
All right, so we've got 8 compact discs for the price of 1, also
Mhm.
available on cassette, and it's BMG Music Service. Nothing more to buy ever. And we've already mentioned the fact that, yeah, new kids are not here, but there's a
Mhm.
lot of cool stuff in here. I mean,
Mhm.
there is some very small print on this. I almost kind of felt bad, like, sending it to you because it's like,
Oh, no, I
I
zoomed
need to
in, it
I
was
need to get
easy.
my readers, like, it's
It was totally fine. It was easily readable for me. I was
okay.
in. Good.
There's
But
a lot of,
yeah,
probably about, I don't know, 20 or so, like, images of album covers, and then just all
yeah.
these tiny little rectangles that say things like Soundgarden, Badmotorfinger, or Barry Manilow, Showstoppers. It's just
And
it's
nostalgia of looking at that again for the first time in, like, 30 years, you know? It was, like, reliving it and how exciting that was to fill out. My goodness. It
totally.
was great.
I felt that feeling that you and Nicole were talking about on that episode, like, you used it almost like a Sears wish book. You circled the
Yeah.
ones that you wanted, then when you got them, you crossed them off, and then you had, like, a queue of what was coming next, like, it was
Mhm.
the Bible of I'd get the catalogs every month, and they had, like, music writers working for these companies, like, talking about the albums and the band, and, like, I'm learning stuff. There's still shreds of whatever that are popping up in my brain from, like, a BMG Music Service catalog that I read in, like, 95.
Yep. Totally. I used to love getting that little catalog, but, it seems so unfair that you can only pick 8. This is my first world problem, okay? You can only pick 8. This is why people like me made a second account with a fake name, because 'cause I'm like, "No, I need more, it's addictive." But, I got the 8, and it was hard to pick because there's, well, some I almost made it, anyway.
I'll allow for honorable mention if it just makes you feel any better. We could do that too.
Mhm. Yeah, I'll do honorable mention at the end, who
Alright,
almost made it. Okay.
alright.
Um, so there's no particular order in this, but the biggest band that's influenced me in my entire life is Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
And so New Jersey is my first pick, and I discovered Bon Jovi actually in 1990, 91, way after they were already really successful with, New Jersey, Slippery When Wet,
Mhm,
and such. So it was weird because I got into them when Keep the Faith came out,
mhm.
and this was like, "Oh, well, I love this band. Now I gotta find their back catalog." And that's fun when you find an artist later in their career and then go back and it's like finding new music all over again from someone you love. It's really cool.
So Keep the Faith was, like, what, 92, I wanna say, or 91?
91, 92. Yep,
Yeah.
might have been 92.
So by that point, you've got just these classic albums.
Yep.
I noticed on here too, they had John Bond's, the Young Guns soundtrack was on there, and also Richie Sambora's solo.
Stranger in This Town and Young Guns, Blaze of Glory. Those 2 are in my honorable mentions.
Mhm.
They are great albums in their own right, so but I had to go with the group, so I picked New Jersey as it's a strong album. And another thing about rock music was, like, you asked what kind of music genre-wise I was into. I was more into pop
Mhm.
in the late '80s, early '90s because, like, I was a good Christian girl. I wasn't allowed to bring much secular music to school,
Mhm.
but some of the pop artists were okay or allowed to be okay, whatever. But then later I started getting into rock and I really liked rock music, but I felt that I was gonna get in trouble if I listened to it. And then suddenly I was, like, kind of allowed to. So bands like Aerosmith and Bon Jovi and all that started coming up on my radar, and I'm like, "I can't help it, I love it."
We've discussed the hiding the tapes behind the books in your bookcase or in your, desk drawer or just wherever your parents wouldn't look and know that you've got that.
Yeah.
Gosh, was this a Canadian thing too, the explicit lyrics square on
Yes.
the okay, because that was like a very Reagan era American creation to try and
Yep.
keep kids away from, bad ideas in music, right?
That's right. Yeah,
But
we
yeah.
had them.
Okay, okay.
Was it the Dan Quayle's wife that was on the manhunt against rap and or something like that? I feel
It certainly might have been. I know that Tipper Gore specifically,
Oh,
Al Gore's
okay,
wife,
maybe.
was, like, on that committee, and they had, like, a big I remember, like, learning about this on VH1 because of course, I'm an elder millennial. I feel very
Yeah.
Gen X in a lot of the things that I do, but I'm an elder millennial.
May I ask you how old you are?
43.
Okay, 47.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to kinda learn about this crusade against rock music after the fact via VH1, which they have in
Mhm.
Canada, right? That and Much were your, music video stations, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Much Music was the thing. But it was funny because, like, yeah, it was hard because I was so into popular music, but I've had to hide it. Like, both of my grandparents, both of my grandfathers were pastors,
Oh,
and they're very hellfire and brimstone, like, "This is evil, this is bad. You can't do this." And I was like, "Oh," so I had to hide everything, you know? I remember having a poster of New Kids on the Block on my bedroom door and them being like, "Who are these young people? These young men on your door? You're only, like, 12 years old. What is this?" I had to hide everything, including my music tastes. But yeah,
did they have views on Amy Grant?
even Amy Grant, okay, she's on this list. She's in that catalog that
Yep,
we're looking at today.
Heart in Motion.
So when she came out with that, that was her first secular album, mainstream album, that wasn't a Christian album, and nope, they didn't like that either. Basically, if it had a beat, it was, like, bad. They didn't even care about the lyrics. They it was rough. But I established what I liked, and I went for it anyway.
Yeah,
So,
showed
yeah.
some metal.
And I'm a Christian. I am.
Yeah,
So,
me too.
I've just figured out, this is what works for me, and then and I just liked it anyway, so yes, Amy Grant I had that CD, and it was great. Heart in Motion.
Yeah, I'm a big, Every Heartbeat guy. It's a good tune.
Yeah, it was great. I love that album. She did good.
I think generally, right, and this this may not apply to everybody, and you could tell me whether it did or not, but generally, your family is happy if you're happy.
Mhm.
You found happiness with this music that drives you. Why New Jersey over, was it the only Bon Jovi full band selection that was on there? Is there a reason that
Yes.
New Jersey sticks out to you?
It was the only Bon Jovi selection on
Ah,
that
I'm
list,
surprised they didn't
but
have Slippery on there, huh?
well, maybe they did. Maybe they did, but
I
I
think
like
they
New
might not
Jersey
have.
better.
You did? Okay.
So I went with New Jersey for I like songwriting.
Bad
Um,
Medicine, the big, ballad, I'll Be There For You is on that.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
I liked a lot of the deep cuts on that album too, like Wild as the Wind and Stick to Your
Oh.
Guns.
Oh,
Those songs were
wow.
pretty killer.
Yeah.
You were real rock and roll cowboys, hey?
Seriously.
Totally. And the John and Richie songwriting machine, man, and they both can sing such a good harmony together. They're like the perfect pop rock band, in my opinion.
Yeah. They really nailed it, and I mean, it was a testament to them too that they didn't get, like, swept into the bin of hair bands or whatever and just kinda kept rolling. Like, I remember, like, I think These Days, Crossroad
Mm.
came out and, like, These Days, so it's, like, 94, 95, and there's just this this mutual agreement that everyone's like, no, Bon Jovi is just so great. Like, we don't care if they came out in the 80s or that they once had big hair. We still love them.
They managed to adapt when other bands couldn't, but the other bands tried. It's not that they didn't try. I don't know what kind of magic it was that made it work for Bon Jovi that they got through that era and maintained their level of success, but they did it. I think they just stuck true to their songwriting roots. They've made little adjustments in what they do, but they didn't completely change.
Yeah.
I don't know, they just it was something, you know?
It was something with a few bands. They managed to Aerosmith was another too. They managed to just kinda keep just
Oh, yeah,
piling on the hits.
they were killing it with those ballads in, like, early '93 or whatever there, right? Crazy
Yeah.
crazy amazing, crying.
Yeah, the trilogy of ballads off of Get a Grip with, Alicia Silverstone in the music video. It was all of those were hitting.
Mhm. My Bon Jovi love is deep, it runs deep, so there you go. That's my
Bon
number 1.
Jovi, number 1. Number 2.
I'm going with, Spellbound by Paula Abdul.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this is, I think Forever Your Girl is also on this list, but
It is.
we've gone with Spellbound. What's,
Yeah, because
what
around
strikes you about Spellbound?
still kinda looking at it from the point of view of 1992 Naomi,
Mm,
I would have already owned Forever Your Girl,
right.
and I was very excited for her second, like, real studio album to come out. I got to see her on the Spellbound tour that year with Color Me
Oh,
Bad opening.
oh, wow.
It was one of the biggest productions even to this day, that was one of the biggest concert productions I've ever seen, like, with costumes and stage production, all of it was great. Um, and it was just a really cool, funky pop album.
Mm,
They had, the Family Stand doing a lot of the songwriting, and they're very, very, funky R&B, and I loved what they were doing. I loved Paula, and the thing is, Paula Abdul is not known for being a great singer.
right.
She's an okay singer. I didn't even think about it at that time. I didn't care what people were saying about her voice. I loved her aesthetic. I loved her outfits and her videos and her dancing, and everything she represented was just cool to me. So, I was a huge Paula fan. Loved the songs, and, yeah, I was so proud to be a fan of Paula Abdul, and I got to meet her on the, Magic Summer Tour opening for New Kids on the Block in 2024, and she is a gem.
That's awesome. That's nice to know.
She is a sweetheart. I told her she had her own shoe line through LA Gear called the Sunblossoms, and I remember getting them when I was a kid, and I told her about this. I said, "I had your shoes," and she's like, "You know what, dear? I think I still have a brand new box of those shoes somewhere in my house." I was She gave me a little kiss on the cheek, and she was just a doll. I love Paula.
That's cool.
Mm.
People have said a lot of things about Paula
Mhm.
over the years. I'll credit anybody who's still getting out there, and let's just say, like, there's a lot of reasons for, say, an 80s or 90s artist to get out there and just cash the check, right? But people who do
Yeah.
show a genuine connection with their fans,
Mhm.
you wanna feel like just the way that you did back then, that maybe
Yeah.
your support is making some sort of difference to this person, right? So,
Yeah.
so even when you meet them, it's just like, well, hey, maybe they might enjoy hearing about the fact that I had their sneakers, you know? And then you
Yeah,
share
I
that
love
with them and they're touched, they're appreciated. I don't know. Some artists can't be bothered.
That's true, but
Yeah.
this is one of those, like, obscure details that you don't I figure as the artist, you wouldn't see someone coming saying something like that,
Oh my
like,
gosh, yeah, right?
those are the things I like to tell when I talk to anybody who's a musical artist. I don't wanna say the same old thing they hear all the time.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's
Yeah,
awesome. I love that.
yeah. Alright, ready for number 3?
Let's do number 3.
MC Hammer, Please Hammer, Don't Hurt 'Em.
My favorite album in 1991. I
Was it?
Oh, totally. For you, does this represent just, like, pop radio at the time? Was this an entree to rap music?
Yeah.
Yeah, where are you meeting this?
Both of those things were definitely true. He was one of my first favorite rappers, and he was my very first concert.
Really?
Yeah, when he
MC
came through
Hammer first
Edmonton.
concert. Wow.
First concert. My mom hated it. She was just like, "The bass is so loud." She's like, "It's vibrating my body. I can't stand this." My sister and I are just like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is so crazy fun," right? Yeah, so it was my very first concert, and then I was obsessed with Hammer after that, for sure. I had already had this tape, and I had the Hammer doll that also came with a little tape.
Wait a minute. There was a Hammer doll?
Yes, there was.
Whoa.
Mhm.
And like
Yeah.
you could record something with it? What do you mean by like the little tape?
Oh, like, back in the day, you get certain dolls, like Barbie dolls, like Barbie and the Rockers, or Gem. There was Gem and the Holograms,
Mhm.
and if you got the Gem doll, it would come with a cassette with 1 or 2 of her songs from the show.
Oh, okay. So like a promo
So
tape that you could.
yes,
Yeah, yeah,
there was a
yeah.
promo tape with MC Hammer, the doll.
Oh.
Um,
I
so I like that too, but I from the actual album, I think one of my favorite songs that was more of a deep cut was Yo Sweetness. Do you remember that tune?
is my weakness. Yes. Yes.
I love Yo Sweetness. Yeah. Have You Seen Her is beautiful too
Yeah,
for a ballad.
that's
Love
kind of a
it.
takeoff on
It's a sample.
it's a sample, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I think from one of the classic Motown groups.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe like a Smokey song or something along those lines.
Google. I'm looking.
Yeah. Have you
Have You
seen
Seen Her? The Chai Lights,
Chai Lights?
1971.
There we go.
Is it Chai Lights?
Yeah.
CHI?
Chicago, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 1971. That's the sample.
Oh, and I'm looking at it now, Dancing Machine, which is a, Jackson 5 takeoff too. That was fun.
Yep. It's so funny when we were listening to all this music at that age and we're hearing it for the first time, we don't realize that they're covering anybody or they're sampling anybody because
No.
we're hearing it for the first time. And then you find out later, oh, they didn't write that.
Yeah.
Gangsta's Paradise, Stevie Wonder's song, Pastime Paradise.
Right, right. Yeah, and
Mhm.
all the kids today are going through that now, and it's our job to remind them that, you know,
Like,
these are samples of 80s things or 90s things.
mhm.
In some ways, it's like a triple sample. It's like there's a song now that's sampling a song in the 90s that was sampling a song in the 60s. It freaks me
Mhm.
out to think about, like, the 90s to us now is basically the 60s to when we were kids.
Yeah, it's pretty freaky. It makes me feel old.
It does, but I also feel like music just hasn't moved as much as it did
Mhm.
between, like, 1960 and 1990, versus
It's
then
true.
to now. I don't feel like the trends have been so, I don't know, so rapidly changing.
I think more things have actually been recycled than invented at
Good
this
point,
point.
good point.
And I think that's why we had so many legends back then because these were people doing things for the first time.
Yeah.
And now we don't have as many legends anymore.
I wonder who the legends are gonna be considered from this era, and who
That
knows?
scares me. I don't know. I'm getting that old person mentality. When I was your age, music was better. You know,
Well,
does everybody do that for their own generation? Probably.
they do, they do.
I find it rare to meet people my age who know all the new stuff. I don't really know much of the new stuff, but I
Yeah,
work with a lot of people who are in their early 20s, and that's where I kinda learn about the new stuff.
there you go.
I had a music psychologist on the show,
Yes, I listened to that one.
and I got to ask her so many of the questions I've always wondered about how the brain works with music, and it's pretty cool, and that was definitely one of the topics.
Yeah, no,
Why
I
do we seem to have an affinity for a certain time in our lives and the music that came out then?
she used a term, what the heck was it? The reminiscent spunk
Oh, really?
about nostalgia. Just like why it like pops your system and why it just
Yeah,
works. And I was just like, that's kind of a fun way to refer to it.
yeah. Oh, she was great.
She was.
That episode was a bit of a departure from what I normally do, and I'm glad we did it because it just it really delved into what nostalgia is all about and why it's important to us.
Yeah, and also, like, whether it's a good or bad thing, I think it was important to ask that question because
Mhm.
I sometimes wonder, is it bad that I'm still here on Earth, but I have no interest in listening to a lot of today's music? Like, am I missing something? Am I being closed off?
Mhm.
Is it unhealthy for me to be so focused on the stuff that I just want to talk about because it gives me joy? And, you know,
Then yeah, right?
yeah,
Exactly. I think it was kind of non-conclusive, though. I think if I don't know. I don't care. I'm happy talking about this stuff. It
yeah,
makes me happy. Yeah. My friends like to talk about this stuff. We're doing good. And now you're my new friend and we like to talk about this stuff.
yeah. You can make new
Great.
friends talking about old stuff.
Exactly.
All right.
But yeah, that's hammer for you
Please
right
hammer,
there.
don't hurt them. Nice.
Too
Okay.
legit to quit. No one could see that because we're an audio podcast here. So, all right. The next one, we're going to go with Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation 1814.
No one can see that I just raised my arms in celebration. What a freaking tank of an album this is.
I like that description. Absolutely, it was. She went to war with this album, like, and the thing was, it was so socially conscious, and she was bringing up so many important topics that were, they weren't really being tackled by anybody in popular music, and she just went for it. And there's also your fun songs on there. There's some romantic songs on there. There's a bit of everything, but most of the first side of the album is very socially conscious,
Yeah.
and I loved it.
She just took pains with every album to like further disassociate herself from her family to the point
Mhm.
that, when she gets on Virgin and releases that 93 album, it's Janet, period, which is something you were talking about in the album covers episode.
Yep.
Once she hit her stride with Control, it was like each one is a concerted effort to expand her image, expand her message to the point where she just became her own thing. And yet still had time to pop in with Michael and do Scream, which is another freaking awesome song that just like
Oh.
I love so much.
I was in my ultimate joy when that came out. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. That video, just
Yeah.
the song, the way she was singing, like, she was singing with more aggression than her usual soft tone,
Hmm.
and I was like, "This is just fantastic pop music," you know? But yeah, Janet made a very concerted effort to be her own person, and it really shows on this album, and it was a bridge to who she became as as a icon, absolute icon.
Did you've done conspiracy theories on the pod?
Yeah.
And one of which was the Paula Abdul plane crash that may or may not have happened, which happened after Spellbound, right? And she kind of was on hiatus for a while there.
Mhm.
But with Janet, there was always the Janet is Michael or Michael is Janet. Like, did you recall hearing that in like the school halls and stuff? Like, it just
Yeah.
the crap that
You're the same person.
yeah,
Yeah.
the crap that we were fed and would digest as kids, just the random rumors about certain artists and celebrities. It was like Scream
There's
to me was like the proof. It was like, well, okay, they can't be the same person because there's this music video now.
She presented him an award. I think it might have been at the American Music Awards, where the first thing they said after they hugged and she gave it to him was, "See, now you can see we aren't the same person." And that got the crowd going for sure.
Oh
But yeah, like,
man.
yeah, absolutely. The resemblance is great. Like,
Mhm.
it's obvious that they're siblings, but yeah, you can tell they're not the same person. My goodness. People are just bored.
Do you have a favorite track off of Rhythm Nation?
State of the World is pretty cool.
Nice.
Um, and for fun, frivolous, I like Escapade.
Sure, sure.
Yeah,
It's a
perfect
great
blend.
tune. I was a big Black Cat guy.
Yes, because it was so
So
different than the
rocky.
rest of the album too.
Yeah,
It was just kick ass. Nuno Bettencourt actually played on the single version of that,
he
on the
did.
single release. Yeah, he played on that one, but not on the album version. Um, and yeah, Love Will Never Do is a beautiful song. Miss You Much was so cool.
Yeah.
It just Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis are also genius with production, and so everything they did together was fantastic.
I love how we have an appreciation of extreme here, and I am wondering if porno graffiti is going to come up. But yeah, Massachusetts band. They had Western Canada hockey legend Cam Neely in one of their music videos back then, and of
Yeah.
course I am a huge Van Halen fan, and I appreciate the Gary Van Halen record. My cousins who
Me
introduced me to Van
too.
Halen, like they're just like, oh, that record's trash. Love Van Halen 3.
I think people just wanted to trash on it for the sake of trashing it. It was actually good.
Yeah.
There's, like, Josephina, that's a cool tune.
Yeah. It was different, but it's there's some
Yeah,
great stuff. Josephine is an excellent track.
but I was a big fan of, Gary singing for them. He got so much flack for that, it was so stupid.
It's like you can't win with Van Halen fans. They're just even today. You know how you get like random stuff in your social media feed and like Facebook will pop up with stuff that you're not asking for, but it's there. And it's just like a random
Mhm.
Van Halen Facebook page, and there's just people arguing about Sammy and Dave like all day long. It's
Mm.
it's like get over it, man.
Yeah, that's always what it comes down to.
Uh,
I'm team Sammy.
yeah, me too. When it comes down to it, appreciate both. Well, appreciate all actually, because I appreciate Gary. But yeah, I'm going to see Sammy in 2 weeks. He's coming here.
Oh, good.
With he's got Joe Satriani on guitar, Michael Anthony on bass. So it'll be a really where my cousins and I are saying this is going to be the last the last time we
Could
go out
be.
and see Sammy because he's like approaching 80.
I
So
can't believe he's that old.
he was born in
Okay.
1947.
Yeah, and he can still sing like that. It's just wow.
Yeah, I mean, talk about that's a gift. That's a gift.
David Lee Roth's coming here in July. I think it's July.
Are you considering that at all?
No,
Okay.
no. Well, if it's free. Sorry, David Lee Roth, but
Boston reviews on that show were not good. Not good.
yeah, it's hard to watch people train wreck. I don't really want to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, I'll go back to my albums now.
Let's do it.
Let's go into extreme porno
All
graffiti.
right.
Since we're segued there, anyways, yes, it is on the list. It is absolutely. So I discovered Extreme because they were on tour with Bryan Adams and a few other Canadian artists and the Steve Miller Band in the summer of '92.
Wow, what a bill.
Oh yeah, and I was like a big Bryan Adams fan. So me and a few friends, we went down to it was a festival grounds. We went down there. We got really great, really up close. And I'd already known about More Than Words. It was a big single, and I thought it was a pretty song. And then what they did up there had nothing on More Than Words. It was like More Than Words is nothing like what they actually make for music.
Yeah.
They are a funky hard rock metal band with incredible players. Of course, Nuno Bettencourt's one of the best guitar players that ever walked the earth. But like they were so talented and their songwriting was tight, their harmonies were tight, very Queen in Van Halen influenced band.
Mhm.
And the the action on stage, it never stopped. They just kept moving. And I'm like, I'm buying their album. I'm buying this album. It was so good. It was a little heavier than everything else I'd been listening to, but it was melodic and that's what attracted me.
Yeah, I feel like extreme, and I feel like I've hit on this motif with some other guests we've had, but the early 90s you needed to have the ballad, right? And
Mhm.
so More Than Words is the ballad, or for say Mr. Big, To Be With You is the ballad, but they're a
Yep.
completely different band, and the ballad's the big hit, and then the ballad appreciators come back to the record and they're just like, oh, this is nothing like what I heard on the radio. But for you, the door
Mhm.
just flung wide open with something you could get down with.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know what it did, but that band the appeal to was undeniable right off the bat. Then shortly after that, I'd seen them at the Freddie Mercury tribute concert at Wembley
Oh,
Stadium,
wow.
where they did a medley of Queen songs and made it their own, and it was mind-blowingly good. I recommend anybody who hasn't seen it to check it out on YouTube.
Nice. I will be checking that out. I mean, I remember that concert, but I don't remember Extreme being a part. I mean, I didn't watch it probably at the time. I probably have just seen clips over the years. So nice.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would love to see Extreme playing Queen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're good. They cover Queen good. They're a band that can do really solid covers, because they do make them their own, but they don't alter them in a way that ruins the song.
Yeah.
Strutter by Kiss. Kiss had a tribute album once that there was like Garth Brooks on
Was
it and
that
the
the album
Lemonheads.
called Kiss My Ass?
Yeah, that's the one.
I remember that.
And yeah, Extreme covered Strutter and they killed it. It was great. Loved it.
Nice.
And then, like I was telling you before we started recording, I went to Boston for the first time last year, Thanksgiving, and got to see Nuno Bettencourt play his annual turkey jam with the Bettencourt family. And it was just such a thrill to finally make it to that because it sells out every year. It's a really big deal for them. And I feel like that was off the checklist, off the bucket list there that I got to go to that.
Yeah. If you were in Hudson, Mass, you were probably like 40 minutes away from where I am out here in the western suburbs of Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's
Nice.
maybe I could make that. It- You made the
Yeah.
trip. Maybe I could make the trip to Hudson,
Trip
Massachusetts.
the drive was not that bad. We
Uh,
went through I took a commuter rail to
yep.
Waltham?
Waltham. It's all
Wal I
you
can't
know.
say anything right there. I
It
try.
don't worry about it. There's
Waltham.
some are hum and some are ham, and there's no reason why. There's just none.
My friend lives there in Waltham, and then, I we ended up driving out to Hudson from
Yeah.
there and back that night. Yeah, I love Boston. I'll be back eventually. I
Yeah.
took a tour of Fenway. That was really cool.
Yeah, those Fenway tours are fun.
They're cheap too, $25.
Yeah.
I mean, you spend an hour there
Might be the cheapest
and
thing you can get at Fenway Park, because that's renowned for being very expensive.
it's so interesting to me too that like for being born and raised in Boston, you don't say things like "park," "dock." You don't talk like that.
Well, it's because, and I don't know about you, Naomi, like you were talking about the West Edmonton Mall. Like, were you born in the city limits?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not. If you're here, you can say I'm from Boston, but I'm actually from Cape Cod.
Oh,
And
okay.
my mother will call me up on the phone and, talk to me like that. Oh dear, but I don't actually talk like that. So yeah, no, it's not as hard. There's pockets here in Massachusetts and New England where you can pick it up, but for some reason I avoided that. So
Okay.
it's helpful
Well,
professionally, I guess. Oh man. But yeah, Extreme, Porno Graffiti, we were all proud of the boys from Extreme for making it, a pretty decent music history of the city, the Cars and Aerosmith, and list
mhm.
goes on and on, but Extreme definitely a part of that lineage.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a big fan of a lot of Boston music, so it was really nice to go and experience the city there.
Well, that just makes this podcast, the vibes are immaculate right now. Nothing like telling a Bostonian you like their music. Oh, all right, great. Pump us right up.
And their ballpark.
And the ballpark.
Yeah. So my next one is we're going to take it back to Canada
Yeah.
with Bryan Adams, "Waking Up the Neighbors."
Had this tape, love this album. Okay, so we've already talked about CanCon.
Yes.
Was the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves song just like way too much on the radio at that time?
It was a
Or do
lot.
you love it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
That was what now that's what got me into Bryan Adams.
Hmm.
Bryan this is it's like Bon Jovi. This is a guy who was already very established in his success, and I didn't catch on until this album came out. The Robin Hood song hooked me, Then I really liked then I got the album, then I liked the whole damn thing, like,
Yeah.
literally all killer, no filler, waking up the neighbors
Yeah.
because he wrote that album with Robert John Mutt Lang, Shania Twain's ex-husband,
Mm.
who is a fantastic producer and writer and well known for working with Def Leppard and, like, Shania, of course, and a lot of other people. Um, but the stuff he did with Bryan on this album was terrific. And then, of course, back catalog, and I became a big Bryan Adams fan.
Yeah, it's very, Bryan Adams does Def Leppard, and in a good way,
Yeah,
you know? Like,
yeah,
do I have to say the words? Like, love that. Can't Stop This Thing We Started is the one that immediately comes to mind, but even looking up the track listing, like, Thought I Died and Gone to Heaven? Oh
that might
my
be my favorite song on the album.
oh, that's I got I have the tape. It is down here, and it
Mhm.
will be, I'm gonna put it in the deck tonight and, just, enjoy a little bit of waking up the neighbors before I go to bed.
Oh, yeah, so I think that's my favorite ballad, and I think maybe my favorite upbeat one is, "Touch the Hand." Then, like we talked about, there was a little controversy because he was declared un-Canadian by the Canadian or called the CRTC, Canadian Radio Telecommunications something Commission,
Council, commission, something like that?
something like that,
Yeah,
yeah, and,
governing body.
well, Brian basically said, "Well, that's stupid, like, that's a dumb thing, like, you're breeding mediocrity." That's where I heard that phrase from, um, and that's how that happened, but hey, he didn't need the Canadian radio, he did just fine on Canadian radio without any support from the government,
Yeah.
honestly. He was killing it internationally, there was no need to worry for him.
Yeah, he just like, I picked up the Reckless vinyl, many years ago before, like, vinyl got hot again. So I got,
Mhm.
like, a nice copy of Reckless that I occasionally throw in. The Tina Turner "It's Only Love" duet just, like,
Mhm.
does it for me.
Yeah,
Even, like, the Don Juan DeMarco song, like, that
yeah,
like, he just kept finding a way, and, that's so far so good. Like, you talk about greatest hits collections that are just like, there's nothing in here that is not a certified major hit. It's
guy
a
can write a hook.
whew, man, appreciate Bryan
Yeah,
Adams.
for sure. We got 2 albums left.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah. We we've settled in here. We've been talking for a while. We still got 2 left.
yeah.
Where are we going?
We're gonna get funky. We're gonna go rap now. We're going with Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, Music for the People.
Wow. See, the only thing I know off of that is probably Good Vibrations.
And that's the same for many, because that song still gets airplay,
Yeah.
you know? So, obviously, my relationship into that was because I was a New Kids on the Block fan,
Mhm.
and here's Donnie's little brother coming out doing a rap album. Donnie writes it, produces it, does the whole thing. It was fun. I actually still like listening to it. Um, there was a couple other songs on there besides Good Vibrations that were on the radio. Wild Side was a sample of Lou Reed's song Wild Side,
Yeah.
but set to Mark's raps. Um, actually, maybe that was the only other single that I can remember was on the radio.
Did it have like, "Do, do, do, do," like
Yeah,
that part?
it did.
Which is funny 'cause, Tribe Called Quest sampled that too. Probably a lot of people sampled that, but I feel like Tribe Called
Yeah.
Quest sampled w Take a Walk on the Wild Side around the same time.
So that song, the lyrical content is very similar to like Waterfalls by TLC, where it's like,
Oh,
here's how this person did, and because they chose to walk on the wild side, you know, they this is how this is a cautionary tale kind of thing. And in the music video, Donnie's under a bleacher and he's selling somebody some drugs.
so
Drug free new kids on the block.
so
Yes.
Donnie's making a cameo there, huh?
Oh yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is like a transitional time for New Kids, right? Because by '94, they're NKOTB, there's some facial hair, I believe, right? So,
Yeah.
wow, yeah, this is
Yeah. That's when they were starting to put out like good, really like strong R&B stuff.
yeah.
And then it was right at the end. Right before they called it quits, but, Yeah, they were starting to grow up, but you know, grunge was big, boy band pop was not big anymore. So that's how life went. But it really set Mark up for success. Mark has Donnie to thank for his career, pretty much. And one of the nice things too is with doing the podcast, I've had some members of the Funky Bunch on the show a few times now.
Yeah.
And I got to visit when we were in Boston. Scotty G, I got to go with him and visit and have dinner and talk about their new music. And they have a new album coming out this month with a bunch of cameos from so many 90s artists that are singing on the album, like CeCe Peniston.
No way.
And yeah. And there's a whole list of people that are on the album.
That's
that
incredible. I
they're working with.
had no knowledge of this. I saw those Funky Bunch episodes in the queue. Forgive me, I'm working my way through, but yeah, that's good. Wow, and CeCe Peniston.
That's just an example, but like Digital Underground has done stuff with them.
Yeah.
The boys are doing great stuff, and Mark's not around, and that's okay. Donnie's supporting them, so it's good. And they don't even need all that because I really strongly believe in what they're doing, because the music quality is high.
Excuse my ignorance, were the Funky Bunch like from the neighborhood too? Is that why they're also down with Donnie?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're from the neighborhood too, and I think like Mark is still good friends with them.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, Ace has been with Mark for a long time. Big Ace has been in movies with Mark as well, and I believe he's been an assistant to Mark for a very long time. Mark has stayed close with a lot of the people he grew up with.
That's cool.
From Dorchester days.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I feel great because now I have this relationship with the Funky Bunch where I like to promote a lot of the things they're doing, and they're great people. Really nice guys.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it's really impressive, like some of the names that I see pop up as your podcast guests, but there's a part of it to me that kind of feels like, and I don't know, how you feel sometimes. It's like you can even interview someone, and I've done this with like sports figures, right? For my job, you interview someone, they're nice to you, you spend a half an hour with them or whatever, and then they move on with their lives, and I move on with mine. And will they remember that years from now? I don't know. But the fact that they were generous to you and showed you kindness, and you went out to dinner, and now you're cool. Like that's like another level to that they're down to earth enough that you can just kind of kick it. And
that doesn't happen very often. You're right. It's like usually it's just I'm going to spend an hour of your life with the two of us talking about your career and what you've been doing, and then all the best to you. I'll never probably see you again.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There was a connection there, and I'm just really glad to be on the team, helping them out and in any way I can, promoting what they're doing, and fantastic.
Sweet. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Drum roll, please, Naomi.
That is so funny that you said drum roll, please.
Wait, are you picking Fresh Prince?
Home base. What just happened? Oh my goodness. That is summertime, man.
Yeah.
Summertime. That song got me hard, so I had to have that album. It was fantastic.
Nice. I coach in Little League Baseball, and we were doing a drill tonight at practice where I was on first base and like catching throws from the kids. And these throws are all over the place. I'm reaching, I'm stretching. And when I don't get a ball, I'm just a very loud person in general. If I don't catch the ball, I'm feeling very 43, and like I don't catch the ball, it rolls through my legs or whatever, and I just go ah. And there's a parent next to me, and I was just like, man, I sounded like Jazzy Jeff going out the front door right now.
You're feeling like it too.
Feeling like it for sure. Although it didn't, I think they showed like the nice mattress that Jazzy Jeff got to land on. But
I wonder how many times they shot that throw.
you remember at the
how many?
remember at the end of the episode, they would always do outtake scenes, or at least for the syndicated, ones they would run. And I think there was
Yeah.
one that they showed like Uncle Phil practicing throwing Jazzy Jeff out the front door. And one time he just like runs. He doesn't do the fall. He just keeps running out the door.
Throws himself out
Yeah.
probably at one
Yeah.
point. I
Oh,
bet you there's a YouTube or somewhere where it just shows a compilation of every single
it's
time
got to be
that he
there.
got thrown out.
It's got to be
Yeah.
there.
Oh, man, but there's cool tracks on this album. "Summertime" was the one that got me, and
Mhm.
it's still such a great song to turn on when you got beautiful day outside and, maybe you're having a beer on the patio or something, having a barbecue. "Summertime" is all the feel. It's so good. Um, did you like that one?
Oh yeah. I mean, how could you not? Like, I look at a lot of the albums that are on here that had, like a big summertime hit.
Yeah, you're right. Because this is like winter '92, but some of these albums had
Yeah,
summer hits in them
like
for
big
sure.
91 summer hits. Like you saw them opened for Paula Abdul, right?
"Color Me
Color Me
Bad."
Bad, right?
Right.
I want to sex you up in All for Love. Like All for Love was a big
Yeah.
summer hit. Like so summertime for me brings back those I'm in my old neighborhood walking by my cousin's house and they got the sprinkler on in the backyard, right? And it's just like, "Oh, hey, you
Mhm.
guys got the sprinkler on? You mind if I run through? Let's play some wiffle ball. Let's hang out for a little bit." Like just
Nice.
those carefree like 91 days.
Mhm.
And
I
this
got my ghetto blaster with my D batteries in it in the backyard, just playing everything.
oh my gosh. The D batteries that we used to
D-cell
run through.
battery. There's so many so huge. This thing was such an inconvenience, but I didn't care.
Such an expense, but hey, it was portable.
That's right.
Oh, man. But yeah, I mean,
But
didn't have the album.
Mhm.
I trusted it was fun. There was a point where I fell off and trying to follow, like, what Will Smith was putting out, but he had
Yeah.
me. He had me through, probably Wild Wild West. I
Yeah.
that was, like, a good I know you're a karaoke fan. I love doing, like, karaoke to Wild Wild West. It's just a fun, like, trying to rap
Oh, yeah.
goofy like Will Smith, but
Oh, yeah, for sure.
hits, personality, and it's not serious, and that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't have
Mhm.
to be dark.
I want Will to re-embrace those days, because he became such a serious actor.
Mhm.
And I mean, and then his career's been exceptional. But I mean, he's gone through a dark period since he decided to slap Chris Rock. But I think that there's room for people to just go past that and forgive him. I think it would be beneficial for him to re-embrace his rap past in a fun way,
Yeah,
not take himself so seriously anymore.
yeah,
That might be helpful for him.
I agree. Like, I'm no psychologist, right? But it just kinda feels like he's
Mhm.
spinning his wheels. The stuff really that seems to unite people and, hey, is probably profitable is just
Mhm.
fun callbacks to the way that things used to be, you
Get
know?
back together with Jeff, man. Just do a thing, do a few dates.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a big thing, just something fun, and I think people would love it.
I guess the question is, would he love it? Is there some sort
Yeah,
of
that's
is
true.
he trying to like disassociate from his past or like what's the hold
It's
up?
like
Why
Mark.
why not? Yeah, right.
It's just like Mark. They became both successful actors, and well, I think Mark tries to disassociate more from his rap past than Will does.
Mhm.
But wouldn't it be cool if Mark just came out and did, like, Good Vibrations just one day on something? I think everyone would go wild for it.
Yeah, there's just such an appetite for this stuff. Everybody remembers these. We're remembering them now.
Yeah, and listening to them now, yeah, there's a nostalgia factor to it, but the music itself just makes me happy,
Yeah,
you know? Just the flow, the songs, the feeling. It's happy stuff for the most part.
for sure. And anybody, I'm sure the streaming numbers would hold up that
Mhm.
anybody from any generation can listen to those songs and they're fun. So
True. Music was, fun. It still is. There's still fun songs being made today.
Oh, for sure.
I'm not, but yeah, this was very enjoyable. That's my 8.
Nice. Nice. If you could, I don't know, you know, I've already taken up a great deal of your time.
Hey,
Um,
I have the day off. I don't care. I'm having fun.
Sweet. Do you want to throw out a couple honorable mentions just in a word or two?
Yeah, I do. Let's go Boston again
Oh,
with Belle Biv DeVoe
nice.
and WBBD Boot City, the remix album, because they didn't have any of the other BBD album wasn't on there that I saw.
Remix albums are super hot in this
Yeah.
era. I remember my dad had the my dad's music taste is just something to behold. He had the Paula Abdul "Shut Up and Dance" tape, which was
Yes.
like extended remixes of all the stuff. Um,
Yes.
Bobby Brown's like "Dance You Know It," I think was a remix album.
Oh, it was hot. It
A
was great.
and then you see like a Belle Biv DeVoe one up in here. There were a couple others, I forget exactly what, but yeah, remix the stuff off of Poison. Sell some units, like, sounds like a great idea.
And they reunited New Edition for a song on the remix album
Did
too.
they? Oh, wow.
Yep. Yeah, with Johnny and Bobby. Yeah. Word to the Mother. That's what the song was called, and
Okay.
there was a music video and everything.
I was a big
Yeah.
Rub You the Right Way fan.
Oh, I love Johnny.
Such a
Yeah, and that guy had a mature voice, like,
Yeah,
he sounded beyond his years, like Luther, you know?
yeah,
He was he had a voice, that guy.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
yeah, love BBD. When I was in Boston, I got to check out New Edition Way or whatever it's called in Roxbury
Oh,
there. They
wow.
put up a sign.
Cool, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I should share some of the pictures from the trip with you so you can check that out,
yeah,
but
that'd be
yeah,
awesome.
we got to go to Roxbury. Other than Mr. Big was on my honorable mentions.
Mhm,
They're a fantastic hard rock band, very not like extreme for the sound really,
mhm.
but the caliber of musicians, very much so. Very strong. One of the biggest well-known bass players in rock music is their what's his name?
Billy Sheehan, right?
Billy Sheehan, yeah, and,
Paul Gilbert's a great guitarist.
he's one of the masters, and Eric Martin's voice is just killer. I had him on the show in the very early days of the podcast, and we went on for like 2.5 hours.
That's
The
awesome.
guy is fun to talk to.
Wow.
Yeah, him and Billy came on the show that week. That was, like, right in the middle of 2020. Like, they they were at home, like, locked right down, so, yeah, I was blessed to be able to get them on the show.
Yeah, that's so cool, and I'd imagine, like, if something like that happened to me, right, I would just feel like, "Hey, I'm onto something here, like, I'm hitting my stride." Like, these
Mhm.
these people that I once enjoyed their album very, very much just wanna hang out with me for a couple hours, like, that's pretty
Pretty
cool.
surreal.
Yeah.
When you think of it, you're having actual conversations with the people that you grew up listening to, and you get to ask them those things that you've always wondered, you know? Wow. I can't believe this life. It's great.
I'm happy for
It's
you,
great.
that's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And, just podcasting is fun. These conversations are fun. Like, I had a great time talking to you today, and it's so cool because we have a lot of the same stuff. We know the same music. Your reactions when I say something like name an album and you're like, "Yes." I'm like, "Right on."
Yeah, well, and I think that's kinda like one of the themes that I talk about with this when I try to describe it to people. 'Cause
Mhm,
not even everybody remembers. If you're under 40, there's a chance that you don't remember, Columbia
mhm.
House or BMG Music Service, so I'm just kinda like, well, really, it's that at least when you were living in the monoculture, we all
Mhm.
heard the same stuff, but it affected us each in different ways.
Right.
And sometimes, like, that's interesting because there's a diversity of experience that you can share with other people and be like, "Oh, wow, I never really thought about it that way." And sometimes it's just like, "Hey, I'm with you know, I'm with you on that." And
Yeah.
that there's just the shared experience and shared love and enjoyment, and that is dopamine. So,
Yeah,
It's all good.
it's true. I mean, you're right. Like some people just hear things in passing, and then it's in one ear out the other, and they never really revisit it.
Hmm.
And we all have our different experiences with songs and how we remember them in that moment. So that's so cool when people can share that.
Yeah, for sure. Naomi, I'm really appreciative of you sharing your time with me and sharing a lot of laughs. This was awesome. I'll look forward to posting this, and of course, we'll look forward to continuing to follow Dope Nostalgia on your journey as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll make sure to share your podcast as well because I'm really excited about it and what you're doing. So it's wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks a ton. Thanks for going back to 1992 on Crack Rear View. Take care.
Why would you cry for me? It's not even like that.
Naomi's 8 selections include Bon Jovi, New Jersey, Paula Abdul, Spellbound, MC Hammer, Please Hammer, Don't Hurt Him, Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation 1814, Extreme 2, Porno Graffiti, Bryan Adams, Waking Up the Neighbors, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, Music for the People, and DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Home Base. Music by Ceramic. You can find Crack Rear View on your favorite podcast platform or on YouTube. Follow Crack Rear View Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. I'm Sean Sylver.